So, but here it is. What's going on, guys? This is Dreamer from GotBetterBeats.com coming at you again with another mix breakdown. And what this really was supposed to be was I was actually doing a video showing you how I used the sampler tracks. As you can see, I used most of the sampler tracks as opposed of using the machine. So that way, if you guys don't have access to a machine, you're not missing out, especially if you have CUBASE 11. I haven't upgraded to CUBASE 11 just yet, but when I do, trust me guys, I'm gonna make sure that I really decode all the new features, because there's some really good stuff in there that's gonna help me along with what I do in my production company. Make sure you like and subscribing. I do appreciate the comments that you guys have been giving me. It really helps me create these videos sometimes. So what I did first was I started with this sound right here, and this sound I got from Cymatics. I'm not sure which pack I got it from, but if you haven't checked out Cymatics, like I said in one of my other videos, they're really dope. So I started off with this sound. So when I first heard that sound, it made me think of, man, that kind of sounds like something Drake would be on. And, I was kind of looking on YouTube, and I was seeing that, Busta Rhymes and T.I. was, having words with each other about the versus battle. And I was like, this kind of sounds like something that a Busta would get on too. I started like just kind of thinking about what I wanted to have in there. So I created those, and I also created a choir. And the reason why I created these sounds is because sometimes it gets a little bit repetitive when you have the same sound in there, and sometimes it just gives the artist a little more to work with. Like you say, hey, I don't want this sound in there, or you can bring the sound in at the end. So it just kind of gives me a little bit of space to break stuff down and create some really cool variations. And I believe I put like a halftime effect, yeah, on the and I just put the mix knob on 75%. So without the halftime on there, it sounds like this. And I actually like the way that sounds, but I just really didn't want to bring too much. I didn't really want to bring too much. I didn't want to bring that forward too much. I didn't want that to be like the main thing, because I already like the loop. It actually sounds like a Christmas, like a dark Christmas hip hop track or something. But and I also added just a little bit of ping pong delay, just to kind of give it a little bit of stereo width. So it kind of gives it like a really hall type of effect, like you just, pretty much just creates an atmosphere. Okay, and this right here, this is one of the last things that I created. I created a pluck because I noticed that I just felt like I needed something when I took out the main melody. And that was another omnisphere, just like something kind of simple. And this is actually where the cool stuff comes into play. Okay, so the cool stuff that I added in was I added in some of the media loops from Cubase, and some from my library as well. So this was one of them right here. at first I was like, nah, that's not gonna work. But when I put it in there, I just kind of EQ'd the bell down a little bit, you know, and I EQ'd out this really deep part right here, but it actually works on the breakdown, and you'll be able to hear that in just a second. And I also added in these percussion right here. They were really fast, so I'm gonna let you hear it with this right here. But what I did was I actually stretched them out on certain parts like this right here. And I actually love the way that sounds. Okay, and right before I show you guys the drums, and I just added in some random vox. I can barely hear it in the mix, but I could kind of feel it just a little bit more. But I love the way that this came out. I did like a reverse cymbal and a reverse breath. And you probably need headphones to hear the voices. Okay, usually the drums are what people are most excited about, so let me play the drums. Okay, so with all that being said, I'm not sure if you guys know by now, but I haven't really been using a lot of plugins on my drums and stuff. On the 808 is probably what I did most of the work to. Okay, so all I did was I just added a little bit of Destroyer on there, but it's really, you can barely hear it, but what it does is just brings out the upper harmonics. This is it without it. And this is it with it. So it kind of just adds a bit of almost like a distortion. It almost sounds a little bit like saturation, how you can hear the top end sizzle a little bit. And I just added in the blackface 1176, and I just really having it just kissing it. As you can see, I don't really like crushing my drums like that. Oh, I'm sorry, I talked right through that, but I really don't like crushing my drums, but here it is without me talking through it. I don't believe in killing it on the main track, um, because I try to get the mix clean as I want it, and then I try to do all the extra stuff in my drum group. Which, as you can see, I really didn't do much. I added on a API compressor. I usually turn the analog off because I'm usually adding in saturation in other places. Sometimes I put it on, but sometimes it just gets to be a little bit too much. And I added just a bump of 2K right here. And I added a little bit of saturation through here instead of adding the analog saturation of on the API. On the melody channel, I had a SSL, and I actually turned the low mids down, the high mids up just a little bit. Really, that's about it. I had a little CLA just to be able to balance it out just a little bit. What you can see is really barely moving on. Honestly, I really with the drums that I've been using in my pack, especially the pack that I have coming out, the one that I have coming out is going to be a lot more melody based. There's going to be some really good drums in there as well, but I've been working on some really cool melodies. And if you guys want to see a video on some of the melodies that I've been working on, that way, if you guys need some melodies, some fire melodies, hip hop, R&B, different types of stuff, let me know. But this is the whole track right here. Let me make it back smaller so you guys can actually get a chance to see the arrangement. That might help some of you guys. And a lot of times when I'm making beats for people, a lot of times I try not to do a whole lot of automation and stuff like that, because you never know how they're going to want to change it. So sometimes if it doesn't really need it, sometimes I really don't. So, but here it is. All right, so I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video of the mix breakdown. Make sure that you do leave me comments. Let me know what you need from me. And it's a lot of noise in the background. Sorry about that, but it is around the holidays. Everybody's home, and I hope you guys had an amazing holiday. I hope you guys have a better new year, because I know that this year has been extremely crazy. But yeah, best of wishes to you guys, and if you need me, reach out, man. Make sure you subscribe for the new videos that's coming out. Comment. I make videos according to where I feel like I'm needed the most, if that makes sense. So yeah, you guys be safe and stay creative and be blessed. Peace out.